Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Talkin' Habs, Saturday Hockey Talk Live, where we talk about anything and everything Habs, hockey, and life, with your host, Rick Selly. Go Habs, go, and let's talk hockey. The road to the 25th Cup is under construction. Hey everybody, welcome to the preview for game number 73, Carolina at Montreal. Hey everybody, I'm the live Rick. Welcome to Talkin' Habs, where you get your daily fix of Blue, Blanc, Rouge. It is Saturday Hockey Talk. We got game number 73. We're in the last 10 games of the season. We're playing Carolina, very difficult team for Montreal to play against. I have a bunch of news today. I got actually quite a bit. I have the stats for the game. I have the lineups for both teams, and I have the Guess the Score contest. Guess the score of the game and the first goal scorer of the game. Pick that guy from either team. Be the first person in the chat with that combination. Be from Canada because I pay out by Interact, and it's the only way. And you win the $10 prize directly into your bank account via Interact. All right. I'm excited for tonight, actually. I think it's going to be a good game. The only problem for me is Caden Gooley's suspension. Caden Gooley won't be in the lineup tonight. So where do I have that here? Caden Gooley. Nope. Caden Gooley suspended. So it was a play that most people didn't really see. I know I did not. And everybody I talked to didn't see what had happened. Caden Gooley was on the bench. And Travis Konechny had just, to me, I thought that was interference on Slav. Slav did not have the puck, and he took a big hit from Konechny. They kind of struggled, whatever. The words I'm missing. He starts to skate back towards the play, and Gooley, as he's going by the bench, just sort of reaches out and slashes him very lightly. It's not that bad. Depending on the angle you look at it from, it looks worse on some angles. It's not that bad. He received a one-game suspension. You know what? Rightfully so. Even though it wasn't such a bad thing. And Konechny kind of played it up for the refs. And the ref was right there and didn't call it. So, but he was on the bench, Gooley, and you don't do that. So even though he had no previous suspensions and all that, he deserved the one game. I agree with it. I'm not going to argue with it. And hopefully he doesn't do something stupid like that again. All right. This one that I had up there. Slavkovsky is no longer a teenager. Happy birthday to Yuri Slavkovsky. Turns 20 today. So no longer a teenager. Slav right now currently has 23 points in his last 25 games. Anybody want to say that this kid does not have the potential to be a point-to-game player? Yeah, I don't know what you're thinking. He's got that potential. Caulfield's got that potential. And Nick Suzuki, who has 27 points in his last 25 games and 70 points in 72 games this season, if you don't think that's a point-per-game player, you do not know what you're talking about. Nick Suzuki proving something I said a few years ago, early, but I predicted this, has the potential to be a 90 to 100 point player. Will he reach that? I mean, I don't know 100%, but come on, at 24 or he's 25, I'm not sure how old he is yet right now. And that's basically a point per game. Yeah, he's going to be that. And number one center, no doubt, Nick Suzuki has definitely picked up his game since the All-Star break. I saw a theory out there that says, he was there with all those other great players and realized he's as good as they are and he's in their class. And since then, he has been crazy good. So Nick Suzuki, 27 points in his last 25 games. All right. The Hurricanes, our opponent tonight, have won the last 8 games versus Montreal, going back to 2021. I forget the date. Montreal giving up 4+ goals in 7 of those games. Tonight is a big test of Montreal's defense. It's a tough test, though, without Caden Gooley in the lineup. He's averaged 23 minutes a game in his last 3 games. He was a +6 in his last 3 games with 5 points in those games. So we're a little screwed tonight with Gooley's suspension. And I hope it's something that he realized it was some little thing, whatever, that. But, when you're a playoff-bound team or a contender, you lose a guy like that for a game, 2 games over something stupid like that, and that's costly. It's not going to cost them now because they're not going anywhere. But down the road, don't do that. Hope he learns his lesson. Hurricanes are 9-2-1 since the trade deadline. Jake Gensel, that they acquired from Pittsburgh, has 14 points in his 10 games with the Canes since then. And his line mates, Sebastian Aho and Seth Jarvis, have 8 and 9 goals, respectively, in that time frame. Habs have their first 3-game win streak of the season with the last win there against, I got to look who it up, Philly. Excuse me. And they're looking to make it 4 in a row, but it's going to be that much tougher without Caden Gooley. Gooley has been a really you need him in the lineup. They've been, especially when they're playing well like this, you need that guy in the lineup. His defensive stick, his defensive play overall, his offensive contributions as well. They're going to miss this guy. It's going to be a tough time tonight. So I'll give you my guess for the guess to score when we're done the news. Mike Matheson had 3 assists in the last game, and that gave him 51 points this season. So career high for him. PK Subban was the last Hab with 50 points, and he had 51 points in 68 games in 2015-2016. So now, clearly, in 14 more games, if Subban had played that, he'd have had more than 51 points. But Matheson has 10 more games to build on that. And, I mean, it's going to be leaps and bounds over his previous, I think it was 41 points last season. So it might have been a little bit more than that. Still going to be greatly above that. So Mike Matheson, whatever you want to say about his defensive brain farts at times, he plays a ton of minutes against the top lines and the top opponents. And he's putting up those kind of numbers as well. I mean, what more can you ask for a guy that's got to be out there that much time, that even if he's having some defensive breakdowns, he's putting up points. Tonight at the Bell Center, it is First Peoples Celebration Night. So that's to celebrate the richness and culture of Indigenous peoples. So big thing. I really, I totally support that, especially here on this channel, because Harry Rice is Indigenous, and we definitely support all that stuff. So awesome for the Habs celebrating that. Last thing I'm going to pipe in with is Caden Primo. Since the deadline, Caden Primo is 3-1-0 with a 175 goals against and a 949 save percentage. Before the deadline, he was 5-6-2 with a 304 goals against and a 901 save percentage. Leaps and bounds better. His confidence is there. And not the last game, the game before that, he was interviewed, I think, on the ice. And they asked him about it, and he said, this is just the beginning. Caden Primo, I written him off at the beginning of the season. Caden Primo is going to be an important goalie for Montreal in the next, I don't know how many years. At his age, could be a long time. All right, my guess for the guess to score contest is 4-3 for Carolina. I'm going to give Cole Caulfield the first goal. He needs one. That first line is hot. And if you want to say Cole Caulfield, there's an article that he's dragging them down. He's got 55 points. So maybe he's not scoring as many goals, but he's feeding those guys, and his play, drawing players because of his shot, helps the other guys. He's not dragging them down anywhere, and he's producing awesome points. So Cole Caulfield gets the first goal. Let's look at the game. We have the 46-21-7 Carolina Hurricanes against the 28-32-12 Montreal Canadiens. How to watch this game: 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. It is on City TV, where I will be watching that, and TVA Sports in French. City TV is English. Hurricanes region, Bally Sports South, streaming it on ESPN Plus. And I don't have to on Sportsnet tonight. Thank God. I hate that place, but it's better than nothing. Season series, December 28th, they beat us 5-3 in Carolina. And again in Carolina on March 7th, they beat us 4-1. They beat us tonight. They sweep us. We're going to try to avoid that with Caden Gooley out of the lineup tonight on suspension. That's going to be difficult. Last 10 games, Hurricanes are 7-2-1, having won their last game against Detroit. Canadians, though, are 4-4-2. They've won their last 3 against Seattle, Colorado, and Philadelphia. That's 2 playoff teams and 1 not so much playoff team. And then we got the home and away records. Carolina is away. They're 21-15 away from home. Montreal's 14-21 at home. At the Bell Center. I got the refs tonight. The refs for tonight are Pierre Lambert and Eric Furlat. And people are going to, I know some people are going to groan, wow, Lambert. But you know what? His record with Montreal isn't bad. Last season, 4-3-0. This season before, 4-0. Not so bad with that guy. And the other guy, 3-4-0 last year, 2-5 the year before, 7-7 the year before. All in all, potentially not so bad, but they're refs, so they suck anyway. Atlantic Division standings, top to bottom. Boston, 99 points in the race for the President's Trophy. Florida, 97 points, also in the race for the President's Trophy. They do have a game in hand on Boston. Toronto, 91. They suck. I don't give a shit. They suck. Tampa Bay Lightning, 87 points. So that's the top 4. I don't think that's going to change. Detroit, 79. I mean, maybe the rank, how they sit there, but those top 4 are making it. Detroit, 79. Buffalo, 75. Ottawa and Montreal, both with 68. And Ottawa has 5 wins more than Montreal. I don't know how the percentage-wise they're tied. It doesn't, I guess because of the overtime loser points. Where do they sit? Bottom 10 from top to bottom. Pittsburgh, 74. Kraken, 73. The Flames, 71. Ottawa and Montreal, 68. So Montreal still sitting at 6 from the bottom right now. So even with the wins, 3-game winning streak hasn't changed where they are. Arizona, 67. Columbus, 58. Anaheim, 52. Chicago, 47. And San Jose can't win another game because they're still stuck there at 40, which was probably their plan. And you can see Montreal, maybe Arizona does pass us and stays there. They can drop down to 5. I don't see them dropping down 10 points, somehow Columbus catching them. So 5 is the lowest they can get. But they're going to finish somewhere where they are, 5, 6, or 7. I don't see that changing. Tail of the tape, scoring chances for percentage. We got 44.7% for Montreal, 29th, and 57.4% for the Hurricanes. They're first in the league. I believe those are possession numbers. Goals per game, 2.72 for Montreal, 27th, and 3.38 for the Canes, 7th. Goals against per game, 3.33, 25th for Montreal, 2.62 for the Canes, and they're 4th. So you can see it's not a lot of hope here without Gooley, especially. Power play percentage, 17.8% for Montreal, 23rd, and 26.5% for the Canes, 3rd. PK percentage, 76.9% for Montreal, 23rd, and 85.6% for the Canes. They're in first there. So Montreal's record against them, 0-2-0 this year. They're 2-0-0, and it's probably going to be 3-0. It's going to be a tough game for Montreal to win. Just based on all that, if the Canes are playing well, and as you saw in my news, there's no news that, well, they're in the last 5 games, they're not playing well or whatever. They're playing well, and they don't care where they beat us, at home or on the road. It's going to be a tough game without Gooley. Gooley's been a huge contributor on that defense, especially in the last 3 games, and I don't know. This is going to be a real, real tough one. At the dot, They come in at 52.4%, seventh, and Montreal 52.3%, eighth, so virtually the same. Shots on goal and shots on goal allowed per game on the allowed side, 25.9 for the Canes and 32.9 for Montreal. And shots on goal for 33.1 for the Canes, 27.8 for Montreal. So even in the shots, we don't match up. Players to watch over the last 5 games in points. Sebastian Aho, excuse me. Nick Suzuki, Aho with 8, Suzuki with 6. Goals, Aho with 5 and Suzuki with 4. Assists, Gensel with 6 and Slavkovsky with 4. And plus minus, Seth Jarvis plus 6, Nick Suzuki a plus 8. Considering he's been carrying a really bad plus minus all season, that's pretty good. I told you, he's been hot. Leaders in goals is Sebastian Asshole. Nick Suzuki with 32, Nick Suzuki with 30. In points, Aho with 83, Suzuki with 69. Average time on ice, Brent Burns, 21:43. Mike Matheson, 25:32. And wins, Kochetkov, 19 wins. He won't be in nets tonight. And Monty, 14 wins, and he will be in nets tonight. Carolina, top 5 scoring. Sebastian Aho, I keep saying it. 32 goals, 51 assists, 83 points, plus 30. Seth Jarvis, 28 and 32 for 60 points and a plus 18. Martin, I don't know how they pronounce it anymore, but Nekash, 23-29 for 52 points and minus 6. Teravainen, 21 and 26 for 47 points and a plus 14. And Andrei Svechnikov, 17 and 29 for 46 points and a plus 9. And the Habs scoring top 5, Suzuki, 30 and 39 for 69. I thought he had, okay, I was wrong. He doesn't have 70 points. I thought he had 70 points. Well, still close enough. 69 points and a minus 11. Cole Caulfield, 20 and 35, 55 points, minus 6. Mike Matheson, 10 and 41 for 51 points and a minus 26. Slavkovsky with the birthday boy with 15 goals, 26 assists, 41 big points and a minus 18. And Alex Newhook, 12 and 13, 25 points, minus 9. Goalies tonight won't be Kochetkov, but will be Monty. Monty is 14, 13, and 7. A 306 goals against and a 905 save percentage. He gets all the hardest games. Remember that. Monty has been playing well despite the one-loss record. But the save percentage not bad. Goals against, he's still struggling to get that down since that Boston 9-4 game. All right, for Carolina, Frederick Anderson will be in nets. 13 starts. He's 11-1 and 0 with a 188 goals against and a 930 save percentage. And I believe he was in the game, the last game we played them, and he beat us, and he was good. And it was his first game back from whatever his injury was. I can't remember. Okay, the lineups. We'll start with this one. Carolina, Asshole, Gensel, and Jarvis. First line, Kuznetsov, Svechnikov, and Nekash. Second line, Jordan Stahl, Martinuk, Teravainen. Third line, and the trader, KK, Jesperi Kotkaniemi, Drury, and Nason, the fourth line. How's that? Fourth line center for 4.8, something like that, million for 8 years. Great signing. Defense, Jacob Slavin and Brent Burns, first pair. Brady Shea, Brett Pesce, second pair. Orlov and Chatfield, third pair. Anderson starting. Kochetkov, whatever, is backing them up. Habs lineup, Suzuki, Caulfield, Slavkovsky, Newhook, Gallagher, Armia, Evans, Anderson, Ullinen, White, Pizzetta, and Harvey Pinard. Defensive pairs, Matheson and Kovacevic, Xhekaj and Savard, Struble and Harris. That might not be 100% accurate. They might have Savard play with Matheson and Kovacevic with Xhekaj. I just got this feeling. Monty starting, Primo backing them up. And ladies and gentlemen, That is the preview. Now we got about 40 minutes to talk about the game and whatever you want to talk about. Let's see who's here. I know I should have probably done that first, but you know what? I'm used to doing a video version of this, and that's what happened. Sorry, everybody. Let's see who's here. Conservative lawyer, first in. How's it going, buddy? I'm doing well. You get 3-1 Canes. Asshole first goal. I like calling him that. Did you see the press interview? Apparently, Marty St. Louis walked out of the interview, did not see anything about that. That's probably because of the asshole reporters asked them stupid questions. I do know this from watching so many of those all season. Marty gets a little frustrated with I'm going to say the lack of quality questions from the reporters. And you know what? It's usually, and not only, but usually he gets frustrated with the French reporters. And if you're French out there and you want to argue that, come at me. This is what I see. All right. That deserves this. If you're here, please give a thumbs up if you like the preview. And if you're new, subscribe, please. I appreciate that. Hey, Joe. Saw your comment there earlier on Twitter. Up at a ridiculous hour due to a couple of fire engines. Oh, that sucks. Oh yeah. No, wait a second. What time is it there? Oh yeah. It's middle of the night, I guess, like or early morning, like 4 in the morning. No, nobody saw it, Joe. You got to see it on the replay. Look on Twitter. It was all over Twitter. Nobody, hardly anybody, let's put it that way, saw that in the game. Nobody I've talked to or seen on Twitter writing about it saw it in the game. Filibuster. Hey, Phil, how's it going? Too bad about, yeah, I mean, it's too bad he did a stupid thing. He's going to pay the price. I doubt he does something stupid like that again. He's young. You know what? If he wasn't on the bench, say, he might have got only fined. He was on the bench. Can't do that. So, yeah, I would have preferred a fine, but he was going to get a game. Phil Tarnopolsky, welcome to no, you've been around once. Welcome to the channel. Welcome in, buddy. Who's starting in net? Monty, but you know that now. Sorry, I'm so late on these comments. Will Slav hit 20 goals? 10. You know, I'm going to say no. I had him at 18 coming into the season and 43 points. If he hits 18, he passes my 43 points. But I think 18 is a possibility. But I'm going to say he's going to get 1 or 2 more. A few more assists, and he's going to put up a little more than I thought. Awesome season for Slav. Awesome season. You can look at it and go, oh, you only got these points. 19 years old, the way he struggled, turned it around, and then he's doing what he's doing now. Awesome season for Slav. He's stand the man. Well, I don't really celebrate Easter, but hey, listen, happy Easter to everybody. If I don't say it, it's because I'm Jewish. I don't think of that stuff. But happy Easter to everybody. And listen, if you recently died, you might come back to life. It's Easter. Just give it 3 days. (3-2) Habs. Slav. It is Slav, by the way, with an F, with the first goal. Who is? Oh, I think you're trying to say Savard. Svad? Or you're just lazy with the fingers. Savard and Matheson are an excellent top 4 pairing for QA rebuild Habs. I'm not sure what you're saying. Gold Star, in my opinion, very decent contracts, local, accomplished, real pros. Love them. One of them won't be here, but it's going to be Savard. Matheson, I'm serious. I think they might resign. We'll see. Even though his value is high, his value very likely could be more valuable to Montreal than what they get for him. So yeah, I'm okay with. Listen, Savard's been playing. Amazing defensively, and Matheson's been pretty good offensively. That's a good pairing, right? Defensive, offensive. It works. Of course, Galley first goal, Phil. 7-5 victory for Montreal. Jesus. I mean, I don't think they're going to be that kind of scoring, but hey. Joe says 4-3 with Slav getting the first one. I got 4-3 Canes, Caulfield. Matt, outdoor 4-3 Habs, Slav with first goal. You sure? Did somebody say that one already? You got to check on that, but not bad. Okay, you both had them, but the opposite teams. I got you. Phil says Phil Tarnopolsky says 4-3 Habs. Slick Nick first goal, but he's 31st if he gets it. Mitch Marner on LTIR. That's news to me, but I know he was injured. I like that, because that kind of cements they won't do anything in the playoffs. But I haven't heard that. That's how late, eh? Well, yeah. By the way, you don't know, Joe's in Australia. That sucks at 3 a.m. to get, but it's worse if it's your place that better to someone else than you, as I always say. Well, so we sell Savard pending UFA for don't expect a boatload. I mean, unless you think a first round pick is a boatload, it's not, but I think that's what they get for him, and I'm A1 fine with that. Yeah, Matheson, I don't know. I think Matheson might prove himself to be more valuable than to move him. Now, I could be wrong. I'm not saying 100% that I think that, but that's my opinion. Someone burnt something down. So it was in your play. That sucks. That sucks. We had someone here for like a year and a half, I want to say 3 years ago, that she had mental problems, and when she went, she would pull the fire alarm. So we went out, I don't know how many times, because for nothing. And then since she was gone, it didn't happen. And then last summer, we had a couple of scares, but it turned out nothing. Anyway, I got burnt out of my last place. Didn't have insurance. Took 7 years to get the settlement. I have insurance here. All right. Well, we could talk about hockey. We could talk about a lot of things. We're going to talk for a second about this. The Sin Bin number 5. We just filmed it this morning, and it is out there. Alex and Cam arguing about what did we argue about? Oh yeah, their most disappointing teams this season, and it was between Ottawa and Seattle, and it was a good show. I directed it, so of course it was a good show. Check it out. It's on Don't Puck with Media. The link to Don't Puck with Media is in the description. Thank you, sponsor. Really appreciate that. Okay, let me get back to the comments. I'm still in a weird mood. Just bad fumes. Yeah, that can be just as bad sometimes, though, because that sticks around for a while. All right, so we still have half an hour to go. Peoples, I will take questions about anything I've talked about here or anything you guys have heard. If I can answer any questions, if you just want to make a point, a statement, give out an idea, a thought, do it right now. This is the right time. should get a sound effect of crickets. I should. I think I used to have one. I'm gonna go look for one. Okay, crickets. Let's talk about what? Well, let's celebrate. Since the Habs are celebrating Indigenous peoples today, let's celebrate Harry Rice, member of this community and team, and on the other channel as well. Harry Rice. If you don't have if you're not subscribed to his channel, Harry Rice Hockey on YouTube, please go do that and celebrate with him Indigenous peoples. First Peoples celebration night tonight, because Harry is a First Peoples. I think he's Mohawk. So Harry is Indigenous. If you didn't know that, you do now. And we're going to celebrate him here. I don't know what to say to celebrate him, but hey, Harry, if you're watching, we're celebrating you, buddy. All the best to you and your family, and to Indigenous people in general, because they get this fucking shaft here like all the time, and they don't deserve it. Besides, I mean, we talk about, are you like an original like Canadian? Like, we stole the land. I mean, it was them. We stole it from them. We should celebrate them. Are the Micmac responsible for hockey? That's true. There's some Indigenous involvement in the creation of the game. The hockey stick. They used to make the top stick available in the world. They look neat and very, very wood. Yeah, back in the day. Yeah, no, I knew that, but didn't know the specifics. Stan is hearing rumors about trading Arbor. Are the Habs seriously consider this? Arbor is untouchable. Listen, it's a rumor. It's a stupid rumor created by stupid people who want clicks or whatever. Just like Lego Rocks just put out a video about possibility of trading Cole Caulfield to whoever has the first pick. So Cole and a first, probably whatever our pick is, for Celebrini. Like, first of all, that team is going to do that. And you know what? Montreal's not going to do that. But he put out a video on it. And so I made a comment and said, that's ridiculous. Whoever put out this rumor is just looking for clickbaits. Why are you doing a video on that? I'll get blocked. I mean, I don't mind Lego Rocks, and he supported this channel at the very beginning. But, I mean, to me, you're putting out a video, that's clickbait. That's pure and total clickbait, and I don't like it. I don't do that shit, and I don't like what other people do. Now, is he a bigger channel than me because of it? 100%. If I did more clickbait like that garbage, sure, I'd be a bigger channel, but no, I'd rather be small and have integrity. Phil, yeah, it's a good weekend to learn more about the Indigenous peoples in your local area, I think. Joe, you get what? Which crap is that exactly? Well, Phil, I did not know this. Awesome. So that means you are Indigenous as well, partly. We celebrate Phil today as well. Euro Spanish. So I mean, that's a weird comment. Didn't the Spanish not do well to the Indigenous, or was that just the Incans or the Aztecs? No, Phil, I get that you're Canadian, but you have Indigenous blood in you. So we celebrate you. Nothing wrong with that. Hell, I wouldn't mind having like whatever percentage of Indigenous blood so I can get all the discounts and shit that they do get. I'd like that. They deserve a lot more, though, considering we stole their land and then killed as many of them as we could. Yeah, I think we owe them something. And by the way, Joe is Indigenous person to Australia. So Joe, in all this, we celebrate Indigenous people everywhere who got the shaft. I mean, everywhere Indigenous people got the shaft. Okay, wait, I missed something. Oh, I see what you're talking about. Yeah, well, you're Indigenous, so like I said, doesn't matter where you are, what country, whatever. You all got the shaft, man, and wrongfully so, obviously. So, but I know, especially in Australia and here in Canada, North America, I should say, it was totally wrong what's happened. Anyway, I do not support the wrongness of it. I support inclusion. Or listen, Harry would not be part of this channel, right? Don't steal my terms there, Phil. I've been using that for a while. I bleed. You cut me, I bleed blue, red, white, blue. I bleed the Habs colors. Phil, I'm glad you brought that up, Arbor and his brother. That's another reason why Arbor's not getting traded. They didn't draft the brother and and then think, we'll trade Arbor. They drafted the brother because they like that character from those guys. And then if you want to talk about, well, what character? Look at how what's his name now? The younger one. Look how he's done. I mean, he just put out an amazing season from a 19-year-old, so an overager. So you expect that, but he did it. And then he closed the season with 5 points in a game. Like, the kid's got some character, I think the Habs want to have both those guys in the lineup down the road for a couple of reasons, and one of them is the physicality and intimidation. Plus, they're super talented, so yeah, I mean, Arbor's not going anywhere. Joe, no, who said that? Phil, it's called, what do they call us? Terrans, because Earth is called, really, it should be called Terran, so we're Terrans. Earthlings. Earthling, take me to your leader. Yeah, Joe, I understand that. And that's what I meant by inclusion. But since a lot of the world are either racist or whatever, you have to sort of do that. I don't do it in a dividing way. Just that, you have to give due where you give due. But believe me, I see you as a human and as a person, as I see Harry. I don't look at Harry and go, oh, he's Indigenous. And when I just think about that, I don't do that. So that's me. Hey, Guru. How's it going, Guru? 5-1 Canes. Aho first goal. Sebastian Asshole. Thank you, Stan the Man, for Florian. I forgot his name. Florian Jackeye. Habs management are looking for potential fits to employ Mommy Jackeye. What? And maybe even Pappy too. Are you talking serious? To employ them? They I don't think so. I didn't hear that anyway. Earthikins is from Invader Zim. What is that? Earthlings is from Futurama? No. Before that? Well, I'm older than you, so. No, Earthlings from every whatever cartoon, either a video cartoon or in a comic or something like that. I mean, since I'm a kid, I've heard that. There you go, Joe. There you go. Marvin the Martian from Bugs Bunny. You make me very angry. Very, very angry. When before my brother, my older brother, my late brother, had his tonsils out as a kid, he was able to do that voice to perfection. That and Flip Wilson when he played when he cross dressed. If you don't know who Flip Wilson is, look him up. Oh, yeah, Phil. In that aspect, 100%. You're right. Yeah, that's part of the development too. Is in their development, whatever section, whatever you call that. That's part of it. Is where Bergevin didn't do any of this. It's all inclusion with families and all that. The players need to feel as comfortable as possible. That's how you. That's one of the ways you do it. Hey there, Matt Greer, 3-2 Habs. Slav. By the way, I know a lot of people put Slav. I don't know why. It's not Slavkovsky. I believe it is Slavkovsky. So it's Slav. Just to let you know, you can put what you want. I understand what you mean, but I'm just wondering where you get the V from. Or am I putting it wrong? But I looked it up. It's Slavkovsky. All right, well, we still got 18 minutes to go here. 18 big minutes to go. Again, I'm here to answer any questions I may be able to answer. If you have any, or if you have anything to say, whatever you want to talk about right here, right now, we got just a little under 18 minutes to go. If you're here and you haven't given a guess for the Guess the Score contest, guess the score of the game, first goal scorer of the game from either team. Be the first person in the chat with that guess. So if you're going to guess now, you got to look through, make sure nobody has that. And if you're from Canada, you can win the $10 prize directly in your bank account via Interac. And the Interac is the reason why it's only for Canada, because nobody else has it. Makes sense? Not to me. It's so easy to use. Why doesn't the rest of the world have Interac access? Yeah, it's about development, Phil. Development without rushing players, waiting till they're ready, drafting good talent first, character guys, and then you develop them. Matt Greer, absolutely, you can change the scorer. That's the whole point. You see, if you do see that your pick, just change it. As long as it's done before the end of the show, you're good. Or before, you can do it in the comments as well. As long as it's in this chat or in the comments for this video that come out and it's before 7, it's all good. No worries, Joe. No, if people that are not from Canada win, yeah, the prize doesn't go out. They just get bragging rights. I do donate it. I donate it right back to myself. You can trade in your $10 prize for poetry. No, that's going to be next season, Phil. I'm not doing that this season, but next season, that's my plan. Is it'll be your choice if you win. So if you do win from outside of Canada, yeah, I'll write a poem for you, where you can even give me some parameters that you want, and I'll do my best to make it happen. And listen, that was your idea, I believe, Phil, wasn't it? which it makes a lot of sense. Besides, makes me write more. I don't think anything's wrong with that. By the way, speaking of that, yeah, new poem is almost done. I'm almost finished writing. I hope to finish it this afternoon, writing it. Then I just got to do voiceover and edit it. So new poem coming out soon because it's kind of time sensitive. And hopefully you guys will like it. I think there was 1 or 2 words. I had to look up the meaning to make sure I'm using them right. There's at least one. Well, let's see. Down to 14 minutes left. Look at that. And people are leaving. So, what are we going to talk about? It's up to you guys. If you got questions, anything, you heard rumors, anything you want to talk about, I'm here to answer if I can. Otherwise, we go a little early. I don't mind a little early. Irony should be looked up by essentially everyone. It's not coincidences. People, if you know Alanis Morissette and her song, Isn't It Ironic? I don't think any of the situations that she thought were ironic in the literal sense of the word. And because Phil is a teacher, I believe, Phil is going to give us the definition of irony. How about that, Phil? So that everybody knows that's here, learn something today. What is the definition of irony? And while we wait for that, if you're here, ask me a question, make a statement, say something, talk about a rumor, anything you want. Bender, the use of words expressing something other than their literal intention. That's irony? It's not irony. Okay, hang on. I gotta look it up. The meaning. Yeah, he gave the literal, this was there. And the other is usually humorous or sardonic literary style or form characterized by irony. Yeah, it's vague. It doesn't really explain it to my satisfaction. Yeah, I don't know. To me, doesn't satisfy that doesn't satisfy me. Hey, Drew, how's it going? Thanks. Appreciate that. Irony, in the broadest sense, is the juxtaposition of what on the surface appears to be the case and what is actually the case or to be expected. But you see, when you do explain it like that and then you use juxtaposition, which I know the meaning, then you throw a lot of people off. There are several types of irony. Of course there are. Ken, good to see you. It's been a while. 4-2 Montreal. Last goal, empty net. Jake Evans scores. Keep the money for yourself. Well, it is basically because it is my money. So are you saying that Jake Evans scores the empty netter? No, you're not. You're saying Jake Evans with the first goal. Awesome. Do you say keep the money because you're not in Canada? I'm just curious there. Are there any good char-grilled chicken places here? There's lots of good. I don't know. I don't eat out very much, anymore. So, but Montreal used to be known, maybe still is, for its restaurants. So I would imagine there is. Yeah, there's got to be here. I couldn't tell you specifically one. Crispy bar. So you're talking about fried chicken? Barbecue chicken or fried chicken? Because crispy. You know what's big here, and you might like it, you might not, is rotisserie chicken. I think that's kind of what you're talking about. Well, Ken, you are in Canada. Toronto is still in Canada. I get the unfortunately Toronto part, but yeah, I mean, okay, if you don't, I mean, if you're going to donate it back, I'm good with that. But you are in Canada and can receive it. Anyways, listen, it's a very hard contest to win. So we've had 4 winners, so it's not like it broke the bank or anything. And with the rules I have, it's not going to. Cooked over hot cold. I read under. What's wrong with my eyes? Crispy skin. Yeah, you're talking. I mean, basically, it's rotisserie chicken. You got lots of that. Some are good. Some are not as good. No, I think she's looking for something a little bit more high quality than Costco from a good restaurant. Saint Hubert, not bad. I mean, Saint Hubert's okay. Here in Quebec for rotisserie or Montreal, best place is there's 2. Côte Saint Luc barbecue is good, and then you've got what's it called on Sherbrooke? Chateau Barbecue, Chalet Barbecue on Sherbrooke is probably the best for me, my opinion. Well, chicken. I mean, chicken. There's tons of chicken places I think everywhere, right? I'm pretty sure. There you go. Verdun has some old wood ovens still working. Swiss Chalet is okay. There's not a lot of them out around here anymore. You're in Ontario. I think I don't know if you get Swiss Chalet in Quebec anymore. So I don't know where Joe is thinking. Joe, you coming to Canada? New system Barbie Barn is ridiculously good. Barbie Barn just closed on sources. It just closed, and the one downtown closed. What Barbie Barn are you talking about? They opened a new restaurant? Hey, Mary Jo, 4-1 Canes. KK with the first goal. I don't really want you to be right. I hope KK doesn't score at all, personally. So I don't want you to be right, but you have the right to make that guess. Well, no, if you didn't know, Barbie Barn just closed 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. The one on Sources, that was the last one. There were only 2. The one on Guy closed a long time ago, a few years ago, anyway. KK's supposed to be centering line 4 for them. Oh, okay, Joe. I thought maybe you're coming to Canada for a vacation. Why you'd come to Canada for a vacation? I don't know. Drew, did they put the beer up the neck hole or the asshole? Let's be serious now. It goes from the bottom. Kenya, Barbie Barn closed. I know. Honestly, I never ate there. Ever. I've never been there to eat. I think once or twice I had food from there that I don't know. We ordered somehow, so whatever thing I was at or party or whatever, but never. I never went there. That's for sure. At least you're doing the chasing and not being chased. It's a little better. Hey there, Deuce. They made you pay full price to eat there? That's ridiculous. Supposed to get it at cost. What do I think of some Montreal media saying Lane Hudson won't sign in Montreal? Clickbait artists. That's what I say. Assholes and clickbait artists. Harder pick would be the best put-in place in Montreal. Of that, there are quite a few. Then it's just personal taste because there's so many that there are some that. I mean, there's got to be 5 or 10 that you can hold up and say, these are the best. Hey, Drew, have a great day. Thank you. I appreciate it, man. I don't know. I guess the Oilers are playing. Oh, speaking of that, I better do my I'm sure the Oilers are playing. Good luck for that too. And you made me think of my hockey pool. So I thank you for that. Although I'm getting creamed, it's the playoffs. I'm getting creamed in one, and like barely holding on in the other, if that. Deuce, no, I'm the same way. Maybe it depends on how, if they lose, how they lose. If it's like a blowout, not so happy. Still okay with the result that they lost, but prefer a good game. And if they win, yeah, I'm even happier, especially against the Canes. I understand wankers, Joe. No worries. And you're right. Too many wankers making up clickbait bullshit to get people to click on their story because they get paid that way. Online, especially if it's an article, that's probably how the guy's getting paid, with clicks. So makes them be like clickbaity, and I don't like it. I get that they're kind of forced into it. I just don't like the system. But Ken, depending on the pizza place, I guess, there are some great pizza places, but I mean, there's a variety of like styles and stuff. Yeah, I didn't get a first round bye. I had to have two teams. So I had my main team is getting killed, and it was seventh, and anyways out of 8. But my other team was in fourth, and then Guru is beating me. Last I looked by like 1. So I don't know if it changes today or not, but I see that there's guys playing already. I better fix up my team. Anyways, maybe on that, I'm going to take off because it's time. It's time. Yeah, I know. Clickbaiters are horrible there, Drew. All right. I'm going to take off because I got a bunch of stuff to do. Got the game at 7, so I'll be back for that. And then on the other channel, right after the game, we do the post-game breakdown. So hopefully you guys will join me for that. And other than that, I'm going to say have a great afternoon. thanks for being here. I totally appreciate it. And go Habs, go. Beat the Canes, man. And it beat a 4-game winning streak. So, they're not, with 10 games left, they're not going to win a lot more games, I don't think, but you never know. They are spoilers right now. So, all right. Thanks for watching. Stay safe till next time. And peace out, everybody. Ciao. If I can find my cursor now. There you go.